You know, we might never see this again in Oscar history, but I'm going to give you a little details of how it happened. Marvin Hamlisch was a very, very active musical adapter, singer, developer, songwriter, and at the 1974 Oscars, he won three, and two within 2 minutes. So we'll get that into a second. Now, the great Marvin Frederick Hamlisch left us on August 2012. That's probably one of the greatest composer conductors in American music history. He is one of just a handful of people to win Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Awards, a feat dubbed the EGOT. He and composer Richard Rodgers are the only people that have won those prizes and a Pulitzer Prize, or the PEGOT. Born in Manhattan to Viennese-born Jewish parents Lily and Max Hamlisch. His father was an accordionist and band leader. A child prodigy, by age 5, he began mimicking the piano music he heard on the radio. A few months before he turned 7, in 51, he was accepted and went out of the Juilliard School pre-college division. His favorite musicals growing up were My Fair Lady, Gypsy, West Side Story, and Bye Bye Birdie. Now, when he attended Queen's College, he earned his Bachelor of Arts degree in 1967 at a young age of 23. His first job was as a rehearsal pianist for Funny Girl with Barbra Streisand. Even on tour, he would take time to book Kenny Winsler's Progressive Music Studio to send musical ideas back to Babs in New York. Shortly afterward, producer Sam Spiegel hired him to play piano at parties and later to score Spiegel's underrated 1968 film, the psychological kind of essay, The Swimmer, with the great Burt Lancaster. Liza Minnelli's 1964 debut album included The Traveling Life, a song Hamlisch wrote in his teens, originally titled Traveling Man. He first arrived when he was 21 years old. Sunshine, Lollipops, and Rainbows, co-written with Howard Liebling and recorded by the great Leslie Gore, reached number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the summer of 65, and allegedly was a big contributor to bubblegum pop. Now, first score was from 68's The Swimmer. He also wrote music for several early Woody Allen films, including Take the Money and Run and Bananas. Now, Hamlisch and Liebling co-wrote the song California Nights, which was recorded by Gore for his 67 hit album of the same name. The Bob Crew produced single peaked at number 16 in the Hot 100 in March 67. 2 months after Gore performed the song in the Batman TV series, in which he guest starred as accomplice to Julie Newmar's Catwoman. Now, among Hamlisch's better-known works during the 1970s were adaptations of Scott Joplin's ragtime music for the film The Sting, including its theme song, The Entertainer. It hit the number 1 on Billboard's Adult Contemporary chart and number 3 in the Hot 100, selling nearly 2 million copies in the States alone. He had great success in 1973, winning 2 Academy Awards for the title song and a score for the motion picture The Way We Were, and an Academy Award for the adaptation score for The Sting. Now, get this. He raced on stage when he won for The Sting, went backstage, did some press. Henry Mancini and Cher, who mispronounced his name, a very iconic moment in the history for Cher to do that. I don't know if it was intentionally or not. Henry Mancini whispered in her ear, "It's Hamlisch," and then he won, and he came out and he basically said, joking around, he said, I was just from the back." He eventually won 4 Grammy Awards in 1974, 2 for The Way We Were. Now in 1975, he wrote the original theme music for Good Morning America, the show used it for 12 years. He co-wrote the hit Nobody Does It Better, Carly Simon's big single from The Spy Who Loved Me, the James Bond movie, with his then girlfriend Carol Bayer Sager, who would be nominated for an Oscar. In the 80s, he had success with his scores for Ordinary People and Sophie's Choice. He also received the Academy Award nomination in 1986 for the film version of The Chorus Line. In 1995, he worked on Daryl, a 1985 film about a boy who was in fact a U.S. military robot. He also worked on a score for The Informant in 2009, starring Matt Damon and directed by Steven Soderbergh. Late in his life, he wrote a children's book, Marvin Makes Music, which included the original music, The Music in My Mind, with words by Rupert Holmes of Pina Colada fame. He also did a score for the HBO film Behind the Candelabra, based on the Scott Torson-Liberace relationship, also directed by Soderbergh and starring Damon and Michael Douglas as Liberace. Now, his first major stage work was in 1972, playing piano for Groucho Marx at Carnegie Hall for an evening with Groucho. Hamlisch acted as both straight man and accompanist, while Marx, at 1981, reminiscent about his career in show business. The performances were released as a 2-record set and remained very popular. If you can get a copy, it's quite amazing. He then composed the scores for the 75 Broadway musical A Chorus Line, for which he won both a Tony and a Pulitzer, and for the 78 musical They're Playing Our Song, loosely based on his relationship with Carol Bayer Sager, who later hooked up with Burt Bacharach after Burt Bacharach broke up with Angie Dickinson. Now, at the end of the 80s, his romantic relationship with Bayer Sager ended, but her songwriting relationship continued. The 63 musical Jean Seberg, based on the life of the troubled real-life actress, failed in its London production at the UK's National Theatre and never played in the States. In 86, Smile was a mixed success and had a short run on Broadway. The musical version of Neil Simon's A Goodbye Girl, 93, closed after 108 performances, although he received a Drama Desk nomination for Outstanding Music. Now, shortly before his passing, he finished scoring a musical theatre version of The Nutty Professor, based on the 63 film. The show played in July and August 2012 at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center in Nashville, aiming for a Broadway run. The book is by Rupert Holmes, and the production was directed by Jerry Lewis. Now, the idea about as a conductor. He was a musical director and arranger of Barbra Streisand's 94 concert tour of the U.S. and England, as well as the television special Barbra Streisand The Concert, for which he received 2 of his Emmys. He also conducted several tours of Linda Ronstadt during his period, most notably on a successful 96 dedicated to the One I Love tour of arenas and stadiums. Now, at this time, he was a frequent talk show guest, very cerebral, ladies and gentlemen. Hamlisch held the position of principal pops conductor for the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, the San Diego Symphony, the Seattle Symphony, the Dallas Symphony Orchestra, Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra, the National Symphony Orchestra Pops, the Pasadena Symphony and Pops, and the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. Now, on July 23rd, 2011, Hamlisch conducted his debut concert for Pasadena Symphony and Pops at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. He replaced Rachel Warby. At the time of his passing, he was preparing to assume responsibilities as principal Pops conductor for the Philly Pops. Now, major awards, again, the Academy Awards have just been tremendous. He's won 3 and nominated 12 times. Best Song, Life is What You Make It from Koch, nominated. Won 3 Oscars in 73 for The Sting, The Way We Were, and The Way We Were as Best Song. Original score in 77, The Spy Who Loved Me. 78, Nobody Does It Better, The Spy Who Loved Me. Original song, again, The Last Time I Felt Like This, from Same Time Next Year, and Through the Eyes of Love from the Ice Castles, 77, 78, 79. Best Original Score nomination, 82 for Sophie's Choice. 85, Surprise, Surprise, the new song for the chorus line in 85. 89, the nomination for Shirley Valentine theme song, The Girl Used to Be Me. And I Finally Found Someone for The Mirror Has Two Faces, the Barbra Streisand single. Now, at the BAFTA, he was nominated for Best Original Music for The Spy Who Loved Me. Emmy Awards, nominated for Brooklyn Bridge, original main title theme music. For the Barbra show, won two awards in 95 for individual achievement in music and lyrics and music direction. 99, nominated for A Ticket to a Dream for the IFI's 100 Years, 100 Movies. He won. Outstanding music and lyrics for Without You from the same show. And On the Way Be Becoming Me from the AFI tribute to Barbra Streisand. He also won Outstanding Music Direction for Barbra Streisand Timeless in 2001. Now, he's also won Golden Globes. Original song, Life is What You Make It in 71 from Koch, and The Way We Were in 73. Nominated for original score in 77, and for the song Nobody Does It Better. Original song, Last Time I Felt Like This, Better Than Evil, Dead Ever, Starting Over, Through the Eyes of Love, The Girl Who Used to Be Me. Original score 96 for Mirror's Two Faces and I Finally Found Someone, and the best original score for The Informant. Now the Grammys, 74, The Way We Were, won for Song of the Year, Best New Artist, Best Pop or Instrumental for The Entertainer, the Best Score Soundtrack, The Way We Were. 75, nominated for Best Cast Show Album for the chorus line. Song of the Year in 77, Nobody Does It Better, The Spy Who Loved Me, and the instrumental version of that. 78, Best Score Soundtrack for Visual Media, Ice Castles. Best Cast Show Album for the Playing Our Song, And of course, best song written for visual media, The Girl Who Used to Be Me for Shirley Valentine. Now, he won for best original score for A Chorus Line in '76, and of course the stage version of Sweet Smell of Success in '03. Miscellaneous awards, Cable Ace Awards, Ordinary Miracles, he won in '94. Drama Desk Award, Outstanding Lyrics and Outstanding Music for A Chorus Line, The Goodbye Girl. Nomination, Sweet Smell of Success. He got nominated for a Golden Raspberry in '81 for Worst Original Song for Hearts Not Diamonds from the Fan. 2009 Best Original Score nomination for the Satellite Award. Now, Critics Awards, nominated for Chicago Films Critics in 2009 for The Informant, as well as Critics' Choice Movie Awards and Houston Film Critics. The International Film Critics Music Association won Original Score. Online and TV Association, Best Original Song nominated in '96, Original Score in '09, and Film Hall of Fame Support in 2014. And online Phillips Film Critics Society, Best Original Score for The Informant. Now, special honors, American Theatre Hall of Fame, '08, the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame, '08, Pulitzer Prize for Drama, Chorus Line, he won, Songwriters Hall of Fame in '86, inducted, and a World Soundtrack Award, Lifetime Achievement Award, won. Now, Billy Wilder won 3 awards in 1960, but again, don't think he won in 2 minutes. Now, the Hamlisch again is one of 10 people who win 3 more Oscars in one night, and the only one other director or screenwriter to do so. 10 Golden Globe nominations, winning twice. When he shared a Pulitzer for Drama with Michael Bennett, Kirkwood, Dante, and Kleban for his music contribution to original production of Chorus Line, he eventually became world renowned for that in his what he called his second act. Now, Hamlisch's relationship with lyricist Carol Bear Sager inspired the musical They're Playing Our Song. He also had a highly noted relationship with the beautiful Emma Sams from General Hospital fame and Dynasty. He was also in a relationship with TV personality Cindy Garvey after a breakup with her husband Steve Garvey, after Garvey was, going from bass pat to bass pat. Now, in May '89, Hamlisch married Terry Blair from Columbus, Ohio, who was a weather and news anchor from that city's ABC affiliate, WSYX Channel 6. The marriage lasted until his death. Now, unfortunately, after brief illness, Hamlisch collapsed in L.A. on August 16, 2012, and died later that day at Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center at the young age of 68. According to Hamlisch's death certificate, the cause of death was determined to be respiratory arrest, with hypertension and cerebral hypoxia as contributing factors, meaning he died of a heart attack. Now, the AP described him as having written some of the best-loved and most enduring songs and scores in movie history. Barbra Streisand said of her collaborator, his brilliantly quick mind, his generosity and delicious sense of humor made him delight to be around. Aretha Franklin called him a classic and one of a kind, and one of the all-time great arrangers and producers. The head of the Pasadena Symphony and Pops commented that Hamlisch had left a very specific original mark on American music. Now, at 8 p.m. EDT on August 8th of that year, the marquee lights at the 40 Broadway theaters were dimmed for 1 minute in tribute to him, an honor traditionally accolade upon their death to those that consider to make significant contributions to the theater arts. Now, Streisand, Franklin, and Liza Minnelli took turns singing songs by Hamlisch during a memorial service for the composer on September 18, 2012. At the 2013 Academy Awards, Streisand sang The Way We Were in Hamlisch's memory. On June 2nd, 2013, a tribute was held in New York City to remember Hamlisch in advance of the first anniversary of his death. Now, the primary conductor of the Pittsburgh Pops, again, from 95 until his passing, and many of his creations are played everywhere across the globe. The various, what do you call, Jewish orchestral genius. Now in the theater, Seesaw, A Chorus Line, They're Playing Our Song, Gene Seberg, Smile, The Goodbye Girl, Sweet Smell of Success, Imaginary Friends, and The Nutty Professor. Now film, The Swimmer, Take the Money and Run, The April Fools, Move, Flap, Something Big, Koch, Bananas, The War Between Men and Women, The World's Greatest Athletes, a Disney movie, Save the Tiger, the Oscar winner, Jack Lemmon, The Way We Were, The Sting, The Prisoner of Second Avenue, underrated movie, Spy Who Loved Me, The Absent-Minded Waiter, same time next year. Ice Castle, Starting Over, Chapter 2, Seems Like Old Times, Ordinary People. That is a very, he should have won for that. Gilda Live, the Gilda Radner. Sophie's Choice, I Ought to Be in Pictures, romantic comedy. A Streetcar Named Desire. Daryl, The Chorus Line, When the Time Comes. Sam Found Out, Little Nikita. David, The January Man. Shirley Valentine, The Experts, Women and Men. Switch at Burke, Missing Pieces, Frankie and Johnny. Seasons in a Heart, The Mirror's Two Faces, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, The Informant, and his last work, and I think one of his best, Behind the Candelabra. So, Marvin Hamlisch at age 29 was on top of the world, and if he was still living today, he would be still doing work. But what an era to grow up with. Henry Mancini, John Williams, Marvin Hamlisch, all these, Ennio Morricone, Giorgio Moroder. We have had superstars with composers and writers, but he could do it all. And like I said, not say a boy genius, but my God, what would movies be like without Marvin Hamlisch? One of the greatest Jewish entertainers of all time. I'm proud to say, I'm a proud Marxist. I love my Groucho Marx. And to see he got a heavy start aiding Groucho's last act before he got the honorary Oscar on behalf of the Marx Brothers. He's really missed, and I really miss him because a very genuine guy, because he just seemed to be ageless, because he was everywhere for me from 1970 some to his death, and that's 40 plus years, and like he was only 68. He had a whole life in front of him. I mean, 68 is not old age anymore, but I think he drove himself too hard. I know Barbara misses him too. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here, what are entertainment tributes to key contributors to entertainment over the last 50 years, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.